Hello everyone. Today, Generic.Alias and Group Leader are here to present the Mingstrin CO Iceberg.
Yeah. For our first topic, this guy, or TG, or the Sky. So this guy comes from an old meme in like 2021 or 2022, where it's this guy who's complaining about the weed he got from a gas station. He had one eye up here and the other eye down here. And basically he just goes the entire video rambling on how you should never buy weed from the gas station.
Never buy no weed from the gas station, bro.
Friends loved that video so much he would quote it, but our other friend, Matthew Mingstrin, he doesn't say swears, so instead of saying Tony, he would say this guy. So instead of, oh, we gotta go find this Tony, we would say, oh, I gotta go find this guy. Then we would always just say, oh, we gotta go find this guy. And it would become the punchline to every joke. Every joke would end in this guy, this guy, this guy. Oh, you know who we gotta go find? This guy. And this went over the span of from junior year in high school to our first year of college. And along the us being in 12th grade, he got so sick of it that we had to abbreviate it and change it around like 12 different times just so he wouldn't know we were referencing it and get mad. But he would find out anyways because we weren't very creative. Alright, so this entry references one time when we kept making fun of how Matthew does a certain deed a little bit too much. And so over spring break, I held a bet with all of our friends to see who could guess how many times he would do it. And after we got all our bets, he came back on Monday and I asked him, how many times did you do it? And he said an astounding 22. And yeah, our friend Tony, I'm pretty sure it was Tony, he guessed it. I gave him like $1 or something. And after that, we made fun of him because why wouldn't you? And I love this video called Dick Kickum, so I changed it from Dick Kickum to Matt Jackum, and we drew it, and we had the fucking thing. The punchline be, I'm gonna play with myself all of spring break. So Penis Man comes from one time when our friend didn't have his laptop or anything. He just got in call, absolutely raw dogged it. We were playing games and he was bored out of his mind, like so much so that he was going delirious, which is completely out of character for him, normally very calm and composed. And he created a song over the span of us playing whatever game we were playing at the time with the company, or was probably Lethal Company. And he made a song called the Penis Man song, which will be played now.
He's scary and he's hairy. He's long and he's hard. He knows when you are sleeping. He knows if you are hard. He knows if you are veiny. He grabs you by the balls. He makes you very weepy enough to make you come. So you better run away before he finishes you off. Wow, that was very beautiful singing, right guys? Well, that was me.
There's a certain creature in Terraria who can get its name horribly misinterpreted. So one day, it was getting nighttime, at our friends playing Terraria, and Matty came across this enemy. He was very surprised, and he half yelled the name of this enemy, which is a digger. And now our friends were completely surprised because they misheard him. They heard diggers, but instead of a D, it was an N. And after that day, we would play along that Matthew is a hardcore racist. When you're in high school and you're stuck in homeroom for like 30 minutes, you get bored. And so our friend Matt, he found out that, well, he didn't figure it out, but one day he just decided to mess with all the saturation settings on a picture, and he created a monstrosity from a normal picture, and it was just black, white, but it was a normal picture. It was a normal picture, but all the settings were changed, so it turned from a normal picture into something unrecognizable.
Now, starting in high school, Sans became friends with Z-Logic's girlfriend, and there was an incident that involved Sans groping her, right? And because Z-Logic is I guess too nice, he didn't do anything about it. But anyways, that's besides the point, right? Very, very, very bad. And then one day, like months later, I think this is now our like senior year in high school. Sans says hello to Matt Jackham's girlfriend. Oh no! I start teasing him because of the Mr. Steal Your Girl joke.
So a while ago, Discord blocked this this music bot that everyone would use. I forget the name of it, but after that happened, I was looking for alternatives because there were still a few. It was the Stragglers, and I found this one called like something boat, and I renamed it to Fred Boat because I don't know, I just felt like naming him Fred. And he was there for a while until he also just fell out of use. He didn't fall out of use, he got blocked as well. Now we have jockey music, and so do a lot of other people. So if you want more Mingstrin content, our friend, One Laggy Boy, Monkey Gaming, he has this video series going on right now called, it's just called The Creature from the Krusty Krab. And in some of those videos you can find yours truly. The group leader memes were becoming pretty big at the time. You know, the good old group leader permission to fart. Yeah, in 26 minutes. And so we had a friend group, right? We had to have a group leader as well. And so we were all sitting around at our usual meetup spot in the morning with this one table by the little plaza. And we were just trying to... Our friend Fabian came around and he's like, oh, who should be the group leader? And we just decided on group leader because he was pretty much always there. He leads the group, so why not?
After the first season of JJK, you know, it being amazing and everything, we're all excited. Well, like a lot of us from the group were excited because we all watched it. And so we planned to meet up to go watch it together, a whole event. And then our friend Z-Logic, him being the way he is, he's like, oh, let me go watch it with you guys, even though I've never seen the show or anything. And I'm like, alright, I guess. And yeah, I mean, he had no idea what was going on. But you know what, the good thing is, later on, he did eventually watch the first season and got context for everything.
So this comes from us playing Jackbox, and whenever someone would be in last, I don't know what they meant to me, but I would just say like, oh, blank, you're in fuck last. So one time we were in call playing Terraria, and my friend, instead of calling him Bruce Wayne, he says Bruce Brain. And in my head, I'm thinking of like Batman, but with a really big head. Not like a really big head, but like with the Megamind type head. And so I drew it in my MS Paint immediately because that shit was funny as fuck. For some reason, whenever we give each other nicknames, we gotta make them rhyme. This example is from our friend Tony, and we just call him Tony Boney. or and then we have like other names like Andy Bandy. So this kind of comes from us being in high school where we would joke around to like, oh, we're gamers, we don't talk to women, right? And so when Matthew got a girlfriend, we were like, oh, Matt, who is this? Is this your boyfriend? Not really like that. We would just be surprised that like his girlfriend wasn't a guy, if that makes sense. Like, oh yo, who's this? Wait, that's a girl. What? So one day, when I was doing orientation for my campus over the summer, I was bored, and so I went onto Google Maps, found my friend Matt's house, and I took a screenshot and put a big X over it, and I sent it to him. I put it in a server with like some other people, but no one really knew where it was. It was literally just zoomed in to his house with a big X over it. Everything else was cropped out too, or cut out, like street names and stuff. And it just said X marks the spot. So whenever we'd walk home from school, there's this mini mart called Joe's Mini Mart where we'd buy drinks and stuff. And our friend would always get something from there, but they only deal in cash because they don't have a card reader. And so whenever our friend was low on cash, he'd tell us no Joe's. And that was kind of big because normally we would just assume that he was gonna go get Joe's, and we would wait for the light. We would wait for him outside because we would have to press the light for the crosswalk because it's a busy road. Press it, wait for it. And whenever he wouldn't have any Joes, we wouldn't wait for him. We would just immediately hit the button. I found this really funny picture of a penguin. And it just says, global warming my ass. This motherfucker fly as hell. No, this motherfucker cold as hell. And it's this penguin holding a basketball. Our friends were playing like some FNAF Roblox game or something, and they found this bear, and they called it Bear 5. So we had this friend, Issa, and because of the FNAF games, we would joke like, oh, Issa, when are we gonna do 5 nights at Issa's? When are we gonna spend 5 nights over at your house? And it never happened. It hasn't happened. But we still joke that one day we're gonna spend 5 nights at Issa's. So there's this game franchise called Persona, and one of the characters is Yukari, and our friend Matthew Mingstrin, likes that character a little bit too much, so one time he went on a rant all about it to his girlfriend, except he didn't mean it. He just said it to parody like people in the community. She screenshot it, took it out of context, cropped like everything else out, and we just had the rant. And he hates it when we upload that rant, and he always deletes any image of it. But we sneak a few in. So, like about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we had the first iceberg that we made. And the entire reason we made the iceberg was to have like just things that we've done, and one thing specifically, which is on the 4th layer. But we took so long making this iceberg, putting all of the entries, like script writing, everything. It just took so long that by the time we started recording, and a little bit afterwards we dropped it because we all started college, and that just took a lot of time away from us. When you're stuck in math class, especially when there's nothing to do, you can't really look around. Especially in this certain teacher's math class, he wouldn't let us talk to each other that much. If we did, we just had to be really quiet about it until it got to a certain point. He would just tell us to shut up and do our work. And when we weren't doing that, just doing homework all class, he would be giving us a lecture where he would just walk around the room, the front of the room. Our friend noticed that he had a certain little thing in his skinny jeans, you know, a certain outline, a certain white snake. And he couldn't. He couldn't stop staring at it. After class, he told Mingstrin. He told Mingstrin about it, and from that day on, this math teacher was known as Mr. Whitesnake. In 10th grade, school started doing hybrid sessions where one day you'd come in and the other day you'd do school remotely. I went with my one friend and I managed to bring my PC. Don't worry, it was a long process and I'm not detailing it. And we would play games after class when we were done, you know, we just play games on it because we didn't have anything else to do. Our teacher didn't care. And I told him, because I recently found out about this genre called 8D music where, you know, they'd make it so that the left ear and the right ear inputs would switch sometimes, so it would sound like you're inside like a live concert. Luckily, the monitor we were using had 2 headphone jacks. And so he plugged in one in the left one, I plugged one in the right one. And when we were listening to it, we each had like one input just going left and right. We didn't have both inputs. Each of us had one input because those headphone jacks were for left and right output. And we didn't know that, so we plugged it in like it was stereo. So a while ago in like 7th grade, when I first met Matthew, I told him that I liked the Luigi's Mansion games, especially the one on the Wii U. He was extremely confused about it because, well, according to him, oh, there is no Luigi's Mansion on the Wii U. He's lying. It was on the eShop. There was Luigi's Mansion on the Wii U. He doesn't believe it. You can't find it anymore because the fucking eShop is down. But it's there, and it exists. And it's not the mini game on Nintendo Land. There is Luigi's Mansion on the Wii U. Don't let the feds tell you otherwise. For a video, we wanted to reference this teacher we had, and we called him by his full name until we could come up with a nickname for him. Our friend, group leader, misheard us and was like, hey yo, who's Mr. Wipe? And ever since then, we called him Mr. Wipe on camera. Mingstrin. So, Mingstrin, the character actually has lore. Mingstrin is 2 characters called Ming and Strin. One of them is red, the other one is the gray. And, you know, when they fucking transform together, they become Mingstrin. Our absolutely chronically online friend at the time found this really funny image of Sans holding a hot dog saying, hey kid, you want a wiener in your mouth? And our friends Mingstrin and One Laggy Boy completely lost it when they heard the audio for it.
5 little happy stars.
Hey kid, do you want a wiener in your mouth?
So, like, in 9th grade, 10th grade, Matt would do this really dumb laugh that I called the Splatoon laugh because it kind of sounded like a Splatoon character when they're talking. And so I'd always ask him, hey, do the Splatoon laugh. And he'd never do it. He was probably embarrassed by it or something. I don't know. I don't care. I still liked it. We have this one friend called Immortal XP who really likes the series. And when the movie came out, he managed to get Mingstrin to tag along with him to watch the movie. And they got a couple of other friends as well. I don't know how Mingstrin stayed for the entire thing, but the other two guys that they brought along, they left like 15 minutes into it. But Matt stayed along, which he gets made fun of. This is referencing time Matt was playing Dead by Daylight, and he would just get really mad at the thing Nemesis. And after saying Nemesis, get off me, he almost said the Tony word.
Get off me, Nemesis! What a digger.
So in 12th grade, we did a mock election for a government class, and we just helped out our friend Immortal XP. He didn't make it, obviously, and I was like stuck in between two friend groups, because one of them wanted me to help, and the other one I just wanted to do things for because I felt bad after what happened the last time we had a little election. And so I stuck with what I stuck with, and nothing turned out well in the end. So my first year living at dorms, we had an RA, and with my roommate, we would joke about like needing something. Like, it could be anything, and we would just call our RA wherever it was. Like, being in the gym, like in the middle of a set, like we'd be struggling to like get it off. Wouldn't be in the middle of struggling, but like if we needed help spotting, then we'd just say, "Oh Jake," run out of trash bags, "Oh Jake," be in a restaurant, food's taking too long to get there, "Oh Jake, we need our food." Mingstrin and his girlfriend get to homeroom a little early, you know, and they get there. Homeroom teacher just wants to make some small talk, and so he's like, "Hey Matt, who's the hottest Disney princess?" And Matt just fumbles immediately. It's like, the kind of from Beauty and the Beast. And I don't know what happened to Mr. Goat Vaughn, but he just asked Matt, "Are you gay?" And then Matthew's like, no. And from that day on, we found out that Matthew really likes the candle from Beauty and the Beast. The JoJo Part 3 skits. This is why we're doing the iceberg. This is why the first iceberg happened. It's why the second iceberg happened. So, we all got Gmod to have fun. And in Gmod, I didn't know what character to get or to play as, so I found a Jotaro model and I played as Jotaro for part 3. And what would happen was we would just blow each other up for like 2 hours, and I would blow people up with the rocket launcher. And so we get the idea, hey, what if in part 3, instead of Jojo like fighting Sans, he just like blew up his opponents with like rocket launchers and shit. And we didn't know how to do that. We thought like, oh, we could probably animate it. Nah, it'd take too long. We have Gmod, don't we? This is where everything comes from, don't we? Why don't we just reenact everything? But instead of Sans, Jotaro just does shit with a rocket launcher. And that lasted for like the first scene, which we still have. We recorded everything. We brought in more people to fill out the cast, to fill out the villains, and eventually we got it. It took a while, over breaks, and school gets in the way, life gets in the way, but eventually we finished it. We finished the final scene of Jotaro beating Dio in Egypt. And that scene was rushed, because at that point we just wanted to finish it. We would spend like 2 hours setting up scenes, doing everything, and we would get like 5 minutes of footage out of it. And so finally, Matthew has all the footage. He starts editing the video, and he just decides one day, like, I need more storage. I think I'll delete some files. And so he goes to, he finds his files and deletes everything, and after that he's like, damn, I deleted a lot. Why do I have 15 gigabytes free? He goes to edit the video and oh shit, I deleted the footage. that's what happened to the JoJo Part 3 skits. We spent over a year working on it for them to get recycled. So when we were recording the Part 3 skits, why did it take 2 hours for us to get 5 minutes of footage? So it wasn't as easy as just booting up a map, because people didn't recreate maps from JoJo Part 3. There were like the closest thing we could ever find was something from like the JoJo fighting games. So we would just scour maps, and then after that we'd actually set up the scenes. We'd set up like tables and shit. We'd set up sets, locations, everything. And during those few sets, our friend One Laggy Boy decided, oh, you know what, I'll do a little bit of trolling for the bloopers. It's for the bloopers. And we'd be setting up our scene, and all of a sudden, oh shit, Matthew and the camera just got fucking evaporated because Andy blew it up. And then, you know, Matt has to get his revenge, and oh shit, the entire set got fucking Thanos snapped because he used Thor's Mjolnir and just lightning the entire set. And it was rinse and repeat a lot. And after those 2 fucking hours, I'd have to get off because it was coming nighttime. My dad would get mad at me. And by that point, we've only filmed 4 minutes, maybe 5 or 6. How many scenes would we get done on a good day? Like 3 or 4. It was all for the bloopers. No, Matthew's, he just isn't a twink anymore. So during those hybrid sessions, one of those songs that I would play was the intro to the Beetlejuice cartoon. You know, the bam, 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 yeah, that. And I would play it on loop because I didn't want to change the music. And Matt got really fucking annoyed at listening to the same shit for 20 minutes. It's just Damien server. That's it. No one knows about it because no one uses it anymore. You know what happened to the JoJo Part 3 skits? Yeah, the same shit happened, except he didn't delete it, the video got corrupted or something. We recorded a Don't Starve Together video and Damon lost the footage. 12th grade, homecoming. We go to the homecoming. It's on campus in like a small gym where no one goes to normally, so it's far from everything else. And during this, kids from a neighboring high school or some Franklin kids bust in, and with like cans of red paint that turned pink by the next day, by the way, they like made a mess in the school, in this place, in like the second hall and the first or ground floor, and those in between on the stairwell. And they made a message called "Save the Kids,"